The singular element of Vietnamese cuisine that most frequently puzzles and sometimes intimidates foreign diners is the extraordinary abundance and sheer variety of raw vegetables, the fresh raw herbs and leafy greens. Visitors often find themselves utterly bewildered by the sheer volume, which specific herbs are meant to complement which primary dish, which dipping sauce is truly appropriate for a particular green. Is there a formal prescribed method or sequence for consumption, or are the arrangements entirely spontaneous and arbitrary? These raw vegetables are, quite simply, ubiquitous. Classic dishes like grilled pork with vermicelli, beef noodle soup, fresh noodle rolls, and sizzling pancakes all implicitly demand their inclusion. Fresh spring rolls are, in essence, structural vehicles built around a refreshing core of fresh vegetables. Even dishes one might consider fundamentally pure, such as charcoal grilled skewers, simple boiled meats, or intensely flavorful braised fish, arrive at the table accompanied by a mandatory side serving of raw greens. First-time foreign diners often pose a remarkably simple yet penetrating question: why must virtually every Vietnamese dish be accompanied by such an extensive, sprawling spread of raw vegetables? To begin to grasp this unique culinary insistence, we must first examine a fundamental factor that Vietnamese people themselves rarely pause to consider: the defining characteristic of their geography. Vietnam is a hot, intensely humid landmass characterized by torrential rainfall and exceptionally fertile soil. These specific conditions create an ideal year-round environment for lush green vegetables to flourish, often explosively. In stark contrast, growing vegetables in much of Europe or North America is often an arduous, complex endeavor, frequently requiring expensive greenhouses during cold winters when the ground is frozen solid. In Vietnam, however, the common saying holds that you merely need to stick a stem into the earth and the vegetables will spontaneously sprout. Water spinach, amaranth, sweet potato leaves, Malabar spinach, mustard greens, various lettuces, and the famously pungent fish mint are all naturally robust, fast-growing, and highly yielding crops. Historically, Vietnam was predominantly a wet rice agricultural society where protein sources like meat and fish were scarce, high-status commodities. The vast majority of the population simply did not possess the financial means to consume protein regularly. Consequently, daily meals primarily consisted of rice, a large volume of vegetables, and simple soup. Raw vegetables were thus not merely a supplementary side, they were a primary, non-negotiable source of nutrition. Raw vegetables offered the ultimate convenience. They could be plucked from the garden and consumed immediately, requiring zero cooking. This saved significant fuel, fire, and labor, providing a quick, essential meal after a long, exhausting day of fieldwork. Over time, raw vegetables became as inextricably ingrained in the Vietnamese family meal structure as fish sauce. Later, as living standards improved, the role of the greens subtly shifted. They ceased being the main course out of necessity and instead became crucial elements for achieving dietary balance. A fatty piece of grilled meat, when meticulously wrapped with fresh herbs, instantly feels lighter and less cloying. A substantial bowl of rice vermicelli feels significantly easier on the digestive system when mixed liberally with raw greens. Another extremely important yet often overlooked factor is the influence of traditional Eastern medicine. In this ancient philosophical framework, food is assessed on its inherent energetic properties, categorized as hot, cool, cold, and warm. The majority of rich Vietnamese dishes, especially items that are grilled or fried, are categorized as hot. To counteract the internal heat, these dishes must be consumed alongside ingredients categorized as cool, which is precisely the role assigned to raw vegetables. Cooling herbs like fish mint, perilla, various basils, and lettuce are all considered excellent for harmonizing the body's internal temperature. This explains why the fiercely spicy Hue-style beef noodle soup must be served with an expansive heap of fresh herbs. This practice is absolutely not arbitrary. The body instinctively knew insufficient consumption of greens led directly to fatigue and internal discomfort. Furthermore, raw vegetables are fundamental to the very sensory experience of Vietnamese dining. Unlike many global cuisines that might focus on a single dominant flavor, Vietnamese food thrives on creating a complex symphony of contrasts. A single rice paper roll might combine meat, soft noodles, aromatic raw herbs, crisp cucumber, and tangy pickled vegetables. In one single perfect bite, the diner experiences a complex interplay of hot and cool, soft and crunchy, rich and fresh, all simultaneously engaging the palate. If you look closely, you will observe distinctly different regional styles. Northern Vietnam tends to favor milder, highly aromatic herbs. Central Vietnam employs stronger flavored greens to balance the region's characteristically salty and spicy cuisine. Southern Vietnam treats raw vegetables as a world unto itself, incorporating unique items like water lilies, water mimosa, and intensely bitter herbs. Compared to many other Asian nations, Vietnam presents a unique case study. China consumes voluminous amounts of vegetables, but the vast majority are cooked. South Korea heavily favors fermented vegetables like kimchi. Only Vietnam boasts such a tremendous, consistent, and diverse daily consumption of raw greens. So, what exactly runs through a foreigner's mind? In most Western nations, raw vegetables refers to a highly limited selection, basic lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumbers. Upon arriving in Vietnam, they are presented with large, overflowing baskets containing an intimidating assortment: perilla leaves, fish mint, various types of basil, Vietnamese coriander, and wild betel leaves. The vegetables are unpackaged and unlabeled, occasionally bearing traces of earth, what the Vietnamese jokingly refer to as natural vitamins. For many foreigners, this sight feels like a profound test of faith. Yet raw vegetables are not intrinsically perilous. In many dishes, they are paired with dipping sauces containing garlic, chili, lime, and vinegar, ingredients known to possess mild, natural antibacterial properties. Through hundreds of years of trial and error, the Vietnamese inadvertently created a self-protective culinary ecosystem. In summary, the prevalence of raw vegetables is not merely a matter of custom. It stands at the intersection of climate, history, medicine, and philosophy. Ultimately, it allows people to eat more deliciously for longer periods, and that, for the Vietnamese, is reason enough. Thank you for tuning into this story. Goodbye for now.